NAVI. GiantX in regards to playing against some of the more tier 2 teams to make it through into that 3-0 bracket. For the side of NAVI, they had a couple of tier 1 teams to go through as well. But as we're getting towards Agent Select, we're talking about Abyss. And I'm looking towards the double initiator on towards GX. Love the fact that we're going for the Breach and the Tail. We saw it relatively successful last time they played on towards this one, hoping to replicate that coming in towards this match against NAVI now.
Yes, for NAVI, of course, I think we got the privilege of watching one or two of their games during the Stage 3, and I don't think I'd say I was unimpressed by their performance. I think there is obviously some question marks over certain things, but that's always going to happen, right? Especially when teams are winding down for Christmas and the New Year and what have you. So, look, we'll just take it as it is. All 10 locked in. We are ready to go for our third BO3 of today. NAVI versus GX.
Excited to get into this one with you, Ryan, because obviously we're talking about this side of the bracket possibly being one of the easier sides. You don't necessarily have the big names like Vitality in towards it. You're looking towards the opponents that can make it through in towards the next match of Team Liquid Academy. I say that, though, the tier 2 team in the top half of the bracket also did insane this morning. So maybe not too much to read in towards that, but in towards this matchup. Now you're looking towards the pistol. Heavy setup for NAVI over on towards that B side.
You talking about this side of the bracket? I'm surprised it wasn't a hard huff of coke from Cairo talking about Team Liquid Academy, even in this pre-show. So, of course, the winner of them will play here as well. So, all important stuff. Our third quarterfinal game of today. Welcome in if you've only just joined us. Project Blender well underway here at the playoff stage. NAVI taking on GiantX.
Although NAVI have that setup over towards B, it doesn't seem like GX want anything to do with it. Heavy in towards mid, silent scale up, but they're not going to find anybody home. Instead, it's the engagements over towards B main that open it up for NAVI.
Nicely done. Labubu pushing in, got to be careful. Headshot found. Oh, in fact, a second. Shao has to trade. Space. Earn on site, GX 2v2. And you can see they're not confident playing a post plant and winding down the time. They want to get aggressive. Corbinio in the face of Shao, far and away. It's messy. Somehow can't find much. Pulls out the smoke. Desperation sets in. Westside now blind. TPs into the corner and into the jaws of Shao. NAVI gifted a retake.
That was messy to say the least coming in from GiantX. Sure, you make your conversation, you want to fight forwards, do a little bit of chip damage, even if you're not able to get the kill, but you back off to safety. You don't pull out your smoke in the worst possible time. And then obviously you're looking towards the chamber, solo on towards side, just in an awkward position.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully we get a replay of it. I just can't believe that is the move. I think that is the last thing that you do. You just got to stand your ground and fight. Either try and run away. You don't try
or
and pull
misclick even in towards that one.
Pull the util out is probably the last choice that you make.
But also similar to last series, we have a couple of players who don't go by their name in towards this. Labubu is actually Ara, so don't get confused. Ara is still playing for GX. Just under the Labubu mantra in towards this one, but talk about GX players playing it. Westside's not going to get an opportunity in towards this round, already taken off the board. R is in towards site, hoping to make this classic work, but has to retreat to safety. It's Flickless though, that gets his name in towards the mix.
Numbers still to find, Filu over the top, can't find much. Cloud gets one, Sociable, finding Ara, putting things in favour of NAVI, who will indeed overrule in the second round as well. Given the retake space towards B, you know, you give GiantX the chance, take the site, take the space, the control, fine. They want it back afterwards though. NAVI swoop in. Only a couple of casualties, it's not all bad. Of course, in GX's case, probably eyeing up this one more than the last in terms of the investment and the opportunity.
I mean, yeah, for the side of GX, you're looking at that as you don't really have much of investment coming in. You get a couple of kills, you get the spike down. Put the pressure on towards NAVI a little bit. Also conditioning over towards this B side twice in a row now that they've ended towards this. Sure, a little bit of a difference in approach. But still, 2 rounds back to back, they've been able to get that spike down. Side NAVI keeping that in mind.
Shao going for the early spam, doesn't want to get too aggressive just yet. No warrant of an early engagement. Pretty silent across the map as GX eye up different avenues that they can approach.
I mean, especially when you've got Feeler over towards mid, right? Locking down that angle or any sort of silent scale up. We've seen GX try it in a couple of rounds previous. The Outlaw looking to be difference maker. Ara's given an opportunity towards Feeler, but no shots connect. Instead, it's Feeler that takes the damage, having to back off, tuck tail and run. Reposition over towards A.
NAVI, of course, so far faultless, looking to try and keep it that way here with facing off on the bonus against the full buy. Abyss only played once in the last 3 months. That was against that Team Liquid Academy side, 13-8. So looking for redemption. Speaking of which, Hero looking to redeem the NAVI side. It's 3, in fact, out of it. Filu with 1. Shao the last, and NAVI keep it flawless in the 3rd.
Lovely triple coming in from Hero. One of the only Vandals they actually had in towards that round. It's not of the likes of Vitality or KC, where you have 5 rifles in towards that 3rd round instead. It's this lone rifle for Hero to do a lot of the heavy lifting. Now coming in towards this, sure, GX are able to buy something. Looking towards Flickless and Ara. Grouped up towards A. Again, similar sort of conversation. They can get the spike down, do a little bit of damage, even get the weapons so they can get a clean kill onto Hero. The only thing is, Hero's fighting forwards. He's fighting for 2. Shao in to assist with the others. And just like that, West side, the lone player standing, 5 targets ahead of him, and so much utility just being dumped in his general direction. Filu, he was aware of the flank of the Jet, but the only thing is, doesn't matter if you're aware. It's a 4-0 lead for NAVI.
Beautifully done. NAVI continue to dominate, this time an attempted shove towards A that GX find nothing in. 4 for 4. A brilliant beginning, and for GX I think it's safe to say that really need to start seeing those results. Barely any kills across the board as well, right? Like, we'd at least be talking about how rounds are close and how GX have lost out on unfortunate chances. It has just been a slaughterhouse.
I mean, 2 of those kills were on the 2nd round with the classics. Now, again, attention's back over towards B, but it's not as if it's going unnoticed. Knife hits 3, stalls the initial push in. Flash then to get more information, trying to get some kills, some damage. But it's just the stall, so much so that GX tuck tail and run.
Had the idea that NAVI might be stacking up towards B. Or at least the inkling that there are plenty of bodies between them and the site. And not interested in stacking the odds further against them. It's Filu on the operator. Oh, what a collateral! 2 for 1, nearly hits another. Has to back away. The flashbang, a deterrent, but they continue to move in.
But you almost feel like that's so much already enough for NAVI, especially now with Shao and Hero's push. I mean, it is absolutely clinical from the side of NAVI. GX just looking like they haven't got the way forward. NAVI have the double flank down mid, down from B. They were already not locked out of that site, pushed in towards the operator of Filu. They try and run. The only issue is, it just comes to fruition the other win conditions NAVI had in towards that round.
5-0. NAVI trying to make map 1 quick. See how things develop. So far, GX really haven't had a say. And yet again, Filu with that operator. First blood drawn. Aldrone on the angle, somehow missed shot from Filu. Clouders retaliated in turn. So it's not all bad for GX, at least an answer made out of the question. But it all falls silent. Minute and some to go, and for GX wanting to regroup, recalculate where they want to head towards, and by the looks of things, it's straight in towards A, and understandably so. They know that the op is dead, so now maybe the chances have opened up a little bit for this site.
I mean, you talk about chances opening up, but NAVI seem to have plugged the gaps. 2 players are here, but I mean, that plug didn't do much. Ruxic's already letting the water through. Cloud's in. West side also already aware of Sociable's position. Manages to get one through the smoke. Hero in towards backside, fighting forward.
Flickless wants to get aggressive and will do so, but a very manageable clutch now.
30 seconds left.
Spike will not be denied. Sociable moving from heaven to spawn. Still progressing. But it's all done very silently. Doesn't want to reveal his location. Continues to creep forward. But GiantX happy with this. Playing for the round. He'll hear the steps, the jump spot. Don't know if he's been spotted. And now, Rolling Thunder deployed. No chance. GX willing to pull out all the stops to get themselves on the board. Ultimate use, but it's a surefire way to find the first.
Yeah, and coming into this, obviously from in the 2v1 position, you don't want to let anything risk being in towards that 0-6 deficit. So understandable investment. And again, looking towards Cloud initially to get that kill towards backside on towards Ruxic. That was their way back in towards the site, allowing them to set up in towards the post plant. And even though that they won the previous round, it's so understandable that we're seeing the timeout already coming through from Pipson.
Yeah, I think just a discussion to be made. Look, 5-1 down, we won the first. More talking, what did we do right? You know, what made us get the cut above NAVI? As I said, NAVI 0 for 1 in the last 3 months with this particular map. So, 1, they haven't really played it a lot, and 2, when they have played it, it hasn't been to any success at all. That Team Liquid Academy game, the only one on record for the 4th quarter of 2025. Deliberation is over. NAVI given a chance to amend what went wrong in the last round as well. And they'll look to strike back here. As you can see, money's still all in good shape for NAVI. They don't really have to worry about any investments. They've got enough money to do it twice over before having to take an eco.
Thing is, coming into this one, obviously having won the previous, you're hoping that they can start to build some momentum, especially with the fact that they've got those 4 ultimates. Tour de Force already active. And similar to the pistol, we're seeing a group up of 4 from NAVI on towards B, and the exploration. It's going to be a clean pickup onto Grabinho. Now NAVI settle back in towards the defensive line, aware of the gaps that they left towards mid. Utilization of the owl drone, just to confirm that no one's pushed the issue in towards B-Link.
But now they've got to be careful of A, and they've only got 1 defender, and their ideal way to it has been cut off. It's the long way round if they want to get back. As West side catching Sociable. The tour de force in full force. And still they creep in, and NAVI aware that A is probably the destination here, as Hero on the corner has to find 2, but Cloud with a quick trade. And are gone, but for both sides, excuse me, down to just 3.
And Westside's in the perfect position to dismantle this, although Null Command at the perfect opportunity denies the placement or the involvement of the tour de force, where it doesn't seem to matter. The rifles do all the talking towards that spawn position. No chance to get back in towards the site. They want to take the fight towards you.
Well picked apart. GX back-to-back rounds now, starting to feel confident. I think for NAVI, they knew the grip of this map is slipping away from them. As I said, they have that final investment before maybe turning towards an eco for the like of Ruxic, Sociable, both quite low financially. Very top-heavy, though. That's for sure. Early into this round as well, you can see that GiantX applying same sort of pressure, want the mid control. Filu on the op yet again to try and block them out of this, and Ara able to hold down the angle alongside West Side, but the operator on the defense is way too quick. Blink and you miss it. West Side gone.
Man, it was great utility from GX, from Ara as well, right? The hindrance just to get him on towards the angle. And instead, Philo just peeks with all the confidence back into it. Same goes for Hero on towards B. Spots out another player on the way in. Shout's there to assist.
Forced away. Have to go the long way around if they want themselves into the B site. Spike still distant from the remaining few from this pack, as they kind of know that they have to do something here. Hero has to get out of dodge. Can't, unfortunately, get far enough. Shout in the back of sight now removed as well. NAVI starting to bleed numbers towards B. And concede a spike plant because of it. Sociable brings some normality for NAVI. As the recon dart goes high, Flickless able to respond. It's a 2-on-2.
It's way back in. The flash is great just to delay. Philo up and over. Has to do it in the 1v2. But the thing is, Rubinho hits the shots on towards that falling jet. And you talk about a stabilization for GX. Maybe not necessarily stable in the round, but in the round count, that's where you're looking for GX off the back of the timeout to start building their way back into this. Even after losing that first kill in that fashion towards Philo.
NAVI, another bitter pill for them to swallow. Now their lead is only at 2. Keep investing, and rightly so, I think. They know that GX's money kept honest. West Side going for the ridiculous moves. Philo moving in and has to back away.
I think this is a head-to-head that we're going to see so much, not only in this half, but in this map and as a whole, even when they switch sides, is the operator head-to-head.
Hero tapping away. Can't catch any of the GX players, and in fact punished for trying to be a little too cheeky. Rubinho there to respond in kind, and you can see Shao trying to get the knife down. Pings in as deep as he can, but shot out quickly by the GiantX side. And in the meantime, NAVI pulling all the troops from A over to B. It's a gift wrapped for the attack here, because they are walking in the moment that NAVI put all their stock into B.
The conversation is, when does the penny drop for NAVI? You can see they're wanting to be proactive. The triple peek down towards B sees nothing. And now with the information that Philo should be relating to his team, he drops forward, drops down, wants to do all the waylay dashing in, at least forces the refract. Doesn't necessarily delay the spike going down too much. And look how far away the NAVI players are. Sure, that means you have different avenues coming in for this retake, but Rubinho a little bit ahead of the mantle.
Recon to go forward. As you say, Rubinho doesn't have to worry. Hunter's Fury now deployed. Sociable, I guess, just trying to force him off the angle, but West Side picking off Rooksick means nothing but bad news delivered to the rest of NAVI. An attempted retake will be thwarted. And after losing one, this will just have to be an effortless move towards the B site. Save those guns, get out of dodge. GiantX from 5-0 to 5-4, overcoming the NAVI hurdles put out early.
Seems like the timeout was well worth its weight in gold. GiantX now one away from equalization, and realistically, we're looking towards the entry engagements that GiantX have started to get in the last couple. A little bit of an interesting ultimate coming out towards the retake there. You can understand wanting to get them off the angle, but not necessarily to the avail possibly NAVI would have expected. We've seen how great the GX timeout was. Now Angel has an opportunity. Obviously, previous player for NAVI, now stepping in towards that coach mantle.
Given a bit of time to talk. As you say, the words of wisdom still carry on for the NAVI camp. I have to discuss what has gone wrong in the last 4 rounds, because GX have walked all over this NAVI side. And just to let everyone at home know, this is GX's pick, so ultimately, NAVI picking the defense, wanted the upper hand, wanted to put some rounds in early, did so, and then took their foot off the gas, even if it was just for a second. GiantX there to respond.
Now it's on towards Navi's shoulders to find their own response to the slew of rounds GX have been able to piece together. They still have money for the operator, so there's still that to work with for side of Navi. And again, possibly the head-to-head going to be happening in towards mid, but on the other side of the map, we have players looking to go in towards B.
It's more Navi's tune, getting the opening kill with the operator. Unfortunately, it's not going to happen. Hara's double, leaving Navi short-changed here towards B, not only once, but twice over. Grabinho setting this one in stone at a 3v2. Spike goes down. In the corner, Flickless will now use the ult and just delay Navi.
Yeah, it was great because Filu has him pinned in towards that position. The ult allows him to reposition and also buys time.
Knife goes, so at least they now know that where he's repositioned to his backside. Able to get out without being punished. Filu and Shao continue to move forward. Flash round the corner, trying to take fights, but GX playing this one so passively, and with the spike down in the corner, as you can see, the U-tilt buying even more time, cutting Navi's chances down second by second, and they know that this one, your days are numbered, your time is low, and in fact, it might not even be to time. Filu, 14 points of health, will try and get away, and will do so just, but Navi concede another.
Oh, it was cheeky though. You saw that stun coming in from Flickless. Just about manages to avoid the radius of the spike. But again, it's nice to see GX being able to fight back even after losing the engagements in towards mid, which has happened a couple of times now. So you're looking again at that operator head-to-head. West side struggling in towards it. Filu, on the other hand, having a whale of a time.
Impact was pretty instant with the op last round, hoping for the same success again. I feel like this was a big turning point in Navi's success. If Filu was able to get even just deep angles, not just frags, but holding down angles, getting information that way, process of elimination, did a good job at it. This, though, is cheeky. Grabinho moving through the utility to try and get the upper hand, suppressed by the KO knife, and thinks his best choice is to move away, and the pressure towards B as well. You can see GX more than happy to give up that respect.
But you look at Grabinho's position here, him just existing, living, being a pain in the side, over the side of Navi, allows for the rotations to be cut off in towards B, so it makes it even more difficult for Navi to fight their way back into us. Even more so, it's a double kill for GX from one extremity to mid, make it triple.
Needed to be punished. Hara moves away, wants nothing to do with the possibility of getting sniped out the air by Jet. Filu walks back.
I mean, they still haven't dealt with Grabinho, and they're sending the two remaining players wanting to try and mount a retake or re-aggression in towards B. The only issue is they've now sent the spike towards A. Again, you've got West side over towards B. You have Grabinho in towards mid, and then you have three players dealing with the spike, getting it down over towards A.
Spike planted.
Navi left short-changed in regards to the rotations, and all off the back of Grabinho just being a menace in towards mid. They couldn't deal with him, couldn't punish him, knew he was there, and yet still offer up two isolated 1v1s, and further so, finally, sure, he gets taken down, but the damage has already been done.
Navi's faultless start of 5-0 has now turned 5-6. GiantX walking away, 6 on the bounce, more critically, leaving Navi desperately in need of a round win. And as I said, that Team Liquid Academy game that we saw on this map, very, very beginning of this month, it was Navi that actually scored a fair few rounds on the defending side. I think half ended 6-6, and ultimately lost the game from there. So need to see them step up.
And you talk about the, I talk about the op head-to-head between Westside and Filu. Sure, necessarily not the most impactful of kills on paper, but the fact that he's been able to take that operator offline coming into the final round of this half, you're looking towards NAVI, like you said, being up in that 5-0. Now you're looking at it, they're coming into the final round of the half, a possibility of losing the half in itself, and they're barely even armed. You have multiple Guardians, half shields.
Yeah. And the point that I was trying to make is, I say 6-6 and lost from there as if it was like a close game. They got 2 rounds on attack. The entirety of attack on this map, they secured 2. So you kind of know that their defense may be their strongest suit. And unfortunately, Grabinho forcing them down to 4, but it's not without Filu with a response. Tipping the scales level, more critically opening up opportunity for NAVI to get aggressive, find the gaps that GX have been leaving behind. It's something that we've seen a lot from them, just a little too late. I'm wondering if now's the time that they want to start searching, and you can see 2 players grouping up, lined up on A.
Yes, there's 1 up, 1 down. But still, for the side of NAVI, you're not necessarily completely informed about what GX are up to. Can starting to see some of the players getting a little bit restless. Sociable rotating over towards A, believing that it's going to be that A finish, and instead, GX are going towards the other side of the map. There's 1 player to defend.
That's a perfect timing as well. They go towards B as the Sova leaves from B to A. Now the cavalry needs to arrive. Filu couldn't be wishing for it quicker. Flickless, excuse me. Stunning behind the site, forcing the engagement. Time is low, 12 seconds left here. They've got to get a move on. Flickless will stick the spike down. I think NAVI hoping that they could have provided something more before it went down. Divide now used. NAVI attempting the retake.
They have to fight forward. You can even see Chamber making his way on towards side, but it doesn't even matter. Flickless fighting forward. Good for 1. Aaron now in the thick of it. Shaw gets the first, and in time, Westside makes its way on towards the site, closes out the kill on towards Sociable, and closes out the half in 7-5 scoreline. Ryan, this was a 5-0 start for NAVI, and now they're losing the half 5-7. A switch must have flicked for the side of GX, not even just off the back of a timeout. They got the round, got a timeout, and since then, it has been GX's show through and through.
Beautifully put together. As you say, you kind of feel like your back's against the wall. 5-0 down, really limited opportunity. That, I feel like, is a 1 in a million to win 7 on the bounce. And NAVI even called a timeout in the middle of all of that, let's not forget. So they had ample opportunity to fix their mistakes. Instead, it's up to NAVI on the attacking side. The weaker one of the 2 against Team Liquid Academy, as I said, to make up for lost opportunities. This is advanced, ready, finds the first, Filu, dead to rights, able to get away as well, unpunished. A free retreat into safety as GX still stand tall in numbers. NAVI left now to twiddle their thumbs a bit, scratch their heads, figure out what is plan B.
And the thing is, while they're figuring that out, GX are going for a little bit of a walk. Walked out through B, and it doesn't even matter if they're walking through B. Westside's just having a little bit of a stroll in mid, connects a shot on towards Xiao, and further increases the numbers advantage, and Flickless is about to do the same.
Easy. NAVI down to 2, picked apart, limb by limb, this NAVI side crumble. They'll try and progress, but into the jaws of many will fall these last 2 players. Cloud with 1. Ruxic trying his best, but it's done flawlessly. Cloud's double to close the show of our second pistol as GX take to 8. NAVI left embarrassed. Now 8 in a row. We're going to keep counting here, apparently. See how bad it gets.
I mean, it's easy to count the streak of rounds that GX have been able to put together because it's just this scoreline. They remember, like, they started 5-0 down. And it's not, sure, we've had a couple of close rounds in the mix, but for the most part, it's been relatively dominant coming through from GX. And not for the lack of trying. You're looking towards Filu on the side of NAVI, doing a lot of work. In the openings, in the head-to-heads with Westside. Doesn't seem to matter when the chips are down.
Here.
That'll serve quite nicely, won't it? West side opening kill, Filu removed, at least
Here.
for the time being. Still on the angle with this outlaw. Smelling blood in the water towards Connector. Has to move away. B side under some serious threat. Flickless with one. Ara with a second. West side
Spike down.
using the headhunter to great success. Rogue Sick fires back with one off the Sheriff, but this is it. A 1-on-5 feels impossible.
Or at least improbable.
Fantastic. West side keeping things honest. 3 kills out of the outlaw. And NAVI buried once more with little to no damage done.
Looking forward, or at least looking back anyway, against Navi's last series on this map. Like you said, it was the attacking side that they struggled with, and one of the key reasons for that is a lack of first bloods. It was something that Team Liquid Academy were relatively dominant in regards to getting those opening engagements and pushing it further for multi-kills, which seemingly similar struggles are here in the matchup against NAVI.
Filu moving forward. Got to be careful. There's all sorts of util being dropped in this A site. A hectic mess that NAVI have to filter their way through, and they can't, because at the front door lies a Guardian in Cloud's hands. 2 quick kills. Shao and Sociable eventually break the back of GX. Towering over goes Sociable. Here's the TP, but Grabinho moves out of dodge just in time.
And Grabinho staying alive here means that the flank has a little bit more potency. Completely unnoticed, Ara gets 2. Now it's down towards Ruxic, on towards the side, but doesn't even get an opportunity. Tries to deal with Ara, refracts back to safety. On West side, pushes the issue. And again, pushing up GX to double digits. That is 10 rounds in a row now for GX across multiple hubs, sure, with the context of that in the mix, but for this being their map pick, they're definitely showing why.
NAVI need a result. They need it now. Flank was perfect. Too many eyes in too many different places. 4 Stingers and a Sheriff all on the half. Expecting a full buy in the next and hoping that that will be their resurgence.
And Westside still has his Outlaw. That's the only concern for me. Fortunately, he's placed over towards mid and the fight is going to happen on towards the site. It's 1-for-1.
Cloud, good start. Westside dropped. Numbers advantage in Navi's hands. Cloud still firing through. This time the Shorty looking to do some damage.
Take flight.
Sociable sends the Aldro into heaven. And GX regroup their remaining numbers towards spawn. And they have the information as well that it all has to be this way. The Omen's in heaven, so this is all the more problematic. A second, it's now down to Flickless. 1-on-2. Some good news could have been found if that heaven kill went his way. Instead, they pick off one another, make things nearly impossible. A thrifty round is what gets NAVI back on the board. A drought of 10, and it's pistols and stingers that do the trick.
It's the affirmation in towards 8. 5 Stingers fighting their way forward, grouped up in numbers, and admittedly some interesting decisions from some with the GX of the Shorties jumping out of the smokes, knowing that they have the weapons advantage and also the HP in regards to shields, hoping that would be enough. Instead, an opportunity for NAVI. It's not out of danger zone yet though, still in the deficit. But that is a good entry. West side's caught a little bit awkward situation.
Beautifully done. NAVI advantageous. Attacking side, Filu sat so deep right now and thought that maybe Ara was going to walk into it instead. Just a trade-off, one holding a deeper angle than the other.
I mean, they're both ready for it. They're both aware of the possibilities. But now with NAVI backing off, grouping up in towards B, the line that Ara has is so important for the rotations that have come through. It's going to be 3 players for GX on towards site. Sure, still down in numbers, but at least they have the stack here.
That's going to engage this push. GX without utility, so it's going to have to be raw aiming prowess to take an 11th. Good start for Cloud, a second in fact from him. Sociable trying to spam through the box. They've got to be careful because the flank's starting to engage as well. Graminio, another hero, has to be the hero in this round. 18 seconds, nowhere near the spike, nowhere near the site. Cloud to get out of dodge, and this one's over. NAVI stopped at the front door.
10 seconds left.
GiantX up to 11.
And it feels like the previous round was just an ad break of the regular schedule of programming, which is GX dominance. Great rotations and information's coming in from Ara with the deeper line that he was able to get over towards A and then pushing the issue on towards the flank. Not the prettiest opening for GX, but conversion nonetheless off the back of a double kill from the site anchors.
And a timeout. Last-ditch effort for NAVI to get back into this game. Okay, you can argue that this is GiantX's pick. And look, if you are going to win a series and it go to 3 maps, it's better to lose your opponent's pick than yours. But you got to remember that for NAVI, it was smooth sailing at the very beginning. 5 out of 5. Now, stand on the cliff face. Might fall into the drop zone here as GX eye up the first map. 25 seconds left for Angel to talk over the game plan for NAVI. Not that there might be much of it, but just need to rectify these small mistakes. I mean, the most obvious one in my opinion is exactly what we saw in the last round. Felt very one by one, very, you know, just take the jewel, hope you win. 2 quick kills out of Cloud, and that shuts down the entire push towards the B side of the map.
I was also with the KO ultimate as well to nullify the utility. That was just the aim duels that GX would be able to face them with. Be that line of defense, and the only issue is now coming in towards this one. Weaponry, not necessarily ideal. You have 3 hero rifles. They're seemingly playing for OT in regards to the investments to make sure they have enough money in towards the next. Orb gained on towards A. That's also another ultimate now that NAVI are going to have to contend with. Waylay ultimate online. And similar to the round previous, a lot of information being fed over. That's why you can see the lean of players so heavily over towards B.
You can see TP into the cover of site. Graminio wanting to try and help as best as he can. Sat in the corner, expecting a crossfire to help out, and that's the case. Flickless, first kill, a second. Graminio expecting more. It's Cloud that has to step up once more. West side dropping in. Has the cross held to ensure that that spike can't be picked up without at least damage, if not information. And speaking of damage, it's another NAVI body that drops outside B. Just Ruxic left 1 on 3. It's going to be difficult trying to bait out util, bait out shots. In the open stands Ruxic. Nice first shot onto Ara and has the divide. This is going to create chaos. And oh my god, Ruxic finds all 3. Transfer sweep. And NAVI get a 7th. Heroics when they desperately needed it the most.
That was gifted though, Ryan. You're looking at that in towards the 1v3. The spike is down on the ground. There's 20 seconds left. You had the smoke fading on towards heaven. The trade's not necessarily set up in a position to swing off the heaven kill. Westside, the last to fall. But it's a collective effort from GX to offer that one up, and Ruxic is going to be taking that one on the chin, puts them up to 7. And again, they like the success they had on towards B. They want to go again.
Shao flashes through, going to try and introduce themselves into this round. You can see that's unfortunate. Sociable is going to say, let Graminio get away out of his crosshair instead. The last one connects, 5 on 3. NAVI can waltz into B.
It doesn't seem like GX want anything to do with this.
Straight up save.
Spike planted.
Tuck tail and run. Obviously, the back and forth of the last couple of rounds taking its toll on the weapons. Especially since for NAVI, one of the rounds that they won was that full stinger round, so side of GX important to keep them alive. But NAVI starting to get things done. Was it's the third round now that they're going to be able to convert on towards the attacking half. Still a deficit to recover for a good start.
A fighting chance given as the gap reduced down to 3. GX having invested the tour de force, wanting maybe a couple more ultimates, but 2 is what they'll be given for now. NAVI in the meantime, one of their own. Filu has the knife should it be needed, but all in all, it wasn't so much the util in this round that secured a win. I mean, it did find the opener, which was a massive influence of heading B, but again, they just brute force their way in. They find the kills, they get the spike down. No mistakes made this time.
Yeah, and talking about the importance of saving those weapons over means they're able to field 4 rifles and a Guardian coming in towards this one. Fighting forward, west side.
It's cheeky.
Spike retrieved.
But that's the thing, it didn't seem like NAVI were ready for it. Fortunate to walk away with their lives. And you can see the pressure that's put on towards Hero. TPing across to rejoin with his team, even aware of possible pushdowns. It's not a comfortable position for NAVI as they group up outside of A.
Plenty of time at least. But look at the GX players rotating quickly in. 3 of them already towards A. Stacked up at the masses. Filu finds a double. Cloud needing more in the middle of sight. Can only find 2. Rolling Thunder now deployed as Flickless tries to jump in. Leaps forward. Finds 2 kills. And Sociable, the last standing, pushes into the jaws of Flickless. Takes aim and fires down 3. NAVI now on the verge of conceding Abyss.
Massive round coming through from 2 players initially. Full on towards the site, but it's the jump down from Clouds. Gets his 2, delays them coming in enough that the Rolling Thunder and then Flickless's turn to jump out of heaven nets him the final 3. Now up to possibly the final round, hopefully for any GX fans. But up on towards 12. Admittedly, a couple of ultimates utilised, but you're now looking at NAVI. Backs well and truly up against the wall.
Knife drawn, so now they know that Westside's here and he can't get out. There is no plan B for that chamber if he misses the shot. Shao jumps, gets the info. Westside has to back away and it's a game of respect, one of which GX were thinking just for a second there of giving them none.
Yeah, and it's this head-to-head that you're looking between Filu and Westside. Not going to be offered up, at least initially. Bit of damage done. But all 10 players remain. 50 seconds left. NAVI have to start making a decision, and the decision attempt to go in towards A. And Grabinho silences it early on. Like you said, the spike goes down. It's been recovered, but for NAVI now fighting off of the back foot. GX have the information and the rotates in place. There's 3 players leaning towards this A site.
They pivot back to B. The spike's going back to B. Just as the Omen starts committing the util on A, Cloud finds 1. Now they know the jig is up.
Ara knows.
Ara waiting in the wings, can only find 1. Or the damage rather, none, excuse me. Filu gets another. NAVI might just have themselves some space towards site. Grabinho just TPs right into the jaws of Ruxic. A sloppy round, but Cloud still wants his say. Finding the Astra towards spawn. 2-on-2 as both players group.
The players for the side of NAVI are so low. 1 bullet could mean the death for either, and Filu even down to 2. So you're looking towards Westside, the player with HP, but he's up against an operator, still hits the headshot.
Shao to do it all. NAVI down to 1. Nade in close. Chasing goes both players for GiantX. Even more damage done. Cloud finds the last. And GX, they will secure map 1.
And from the start that we saw from GX, sure, it was the map pick you always had to have in the back of your mind that there was a possibility that it was just a slow start. But with it being that 5-0 to 5-10 to the final scoreline that we had for the side of GX, something switched.
Yeah, you feel like for NAVI, they definitely could have ran away with that first half.
Yeah.
5-0, all the momentum, all the chances. Instead, it's GX that bury the hatchet and start getting to work, and my God, did they. Once they got the ball rolling, there really was no stopping them. It was complete domination from NAVI at the beginning as well.
There's flawless rounds on the bonuses. They were on their bonus round and they just locked GX out of it completely. Filu being one of the main reasons for that as well, and you have to give kudos where it's due for him on towards that Jett being the spearhead for the NAVI side. But at the same time, on the other side of the server, you have Ara that just played exceptional.
NAVI gonna feel pretty disheartened. You have to wonder how that's gonna affect them mentally heading into future maps and what that means for them, because you, as you say, had every chance to just take over, shut GX out from minute one. Instead, door wide open for GX to win this series out. It is going to be on Navi's pick, don't get it wrong. You know, you still have more games to play, minimum of one, but the chance is there.
And even just bringing it back to this map, I would love to know, or at least love to find out how many head-to-heads we had between Westside and Filu and who actually came out on top, because even with just the operators or even in towards the rifles as well, you see it in the final round of the game, it's West.
To see how exactly things are going to develop in this series. Ultimately, as you can see here, the bans are coming in. I'm wondering how things are going to go in the agent select. Anything you see, Summer?
Westside's on stage. I'm happy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I was leaving that up in the air for you to.
I mean, they play it anyway. I don't know why I wasn't expecting them to play it, but I'm just happy that we get to see it, that I get to cast it.
Yeah.
You know, getting to see. I just love getting to see some of the players on some of the more unconventional picks. Like on the other side of the coin, you have Shao going towards the Gecko. It's the Gecko Sky duo that we haven't actually seen for quite a while.
Yeah,
in towards 2-1, right? And nice to see from the same side for GX as well, going in towards that stage. They have played this, obviously, going back into the match that they played against Ramboot Club. So for the side of NAVI, picking in towards this map, sure, it's a good map for them per se, but it's not a sloucher of a map for GX either.
No, definitely not. Both teams, as you say, for NAVI's case, hoping that they play into their strength to have a 3-map affair. For GX, it's not exactly, you know, the worst map in the pool that they play. So we'll see how things develop. Of course, in that qualification game in the round of 16, GiantX did end up playing Ramboot Club on this map. I think
it was third map.
13-10. So sort of picking up where they left off effectively in this tournament from earlier this week.
Yeah, and it was an impactful map for them anyway, because it was that 2-1 victory that they were able to get over Ramboot, and coming in towards this one, NAVI are going to have to upset the trajectory that GX are on, because the momentum definitely has to be in their favor if they're able to carry it on from that first map. And the answer back, NAVI were unable to field in the first. Hopefully find a way to field it in towards the second, being their map pick. Should be a little bit of a boost to the morale.
And our second map commences. NAVI on the attack of their selection of binds. GiantX hoping to make it a clean 2-0, get themselves rallied up into the top 4. Of course, a big bump in prize money as well, outside of bounties, from 1.5 to 3, I do believe.
But the thing is, coming in towards this, sure, we've seen GX play this composition before, that one time against Ramboot. NAVI have not played in towards bind in the last few months. And with the newer additions, slight changes. It's going to be a game of adaptation for GiantX coming in towards this. No tape, but plenty of opportunities to adjust. Ara not going to get an opportunity to stick around long too much time.
Already having that plan B though, right? Wall up, it goes through the TP. You can see the concuss coming out as Club moves away. GiantX looking to hold on to this deep grasp of B. Brim playing in hookah. You've got the Sky Cloud forced away, but still present.
I mean, it's a minute on the clock. Na'Vi have 0 committal anyway. You have, obviously, player watching short, player outside showers, towards long. Now is this time that they're starting to collect their forces outside A. Spike is starting to make its way over. The only thing is, there's a wall up on towards short. So they decide to go the other way. Not happy with what they found on towards A. Spike drifting back towards B, which still has some players from GiantX defending. Sure, it might be the weaker site. Grabinho playing forward in towards Hooker, Molly in hand, ready to
30 seconds left.
Deny entry.
Cloud is going to need to get this information safely. Punished here, and Grabinho is dead for certain. Jumps out, Molly dropped in as well. Blinded by the Gecko flash, but through the TP, Flickless emerges. A second opportunity, but Grabinho chokes his shots. Cloud also falls to the same face. Dara, they're going to try and deny the spike plant here. Can't in time, but Dara getting more and more. Westside closes the show. GiantX, another pistol.
It's manic on towards side.
Yeah.
You have the double TP coming through anyway, isolating the kill on towards Hero outside of Hooker. But then you have the normal site anchors, one jumping out of Hooker, one peeking from backside, they fall. But then you also have then another 2 players jumping out of Hooker,
Yes.
while you have someone running out from backside as well. So there's a lot going on for GiantX in towards that round. A lot of rotates coming in just at the right time, and something that Na'Vi, sure, just about able to get the spike down, but no opportunity to feel safe in the site itself or in towards the post plan, which there was a very much a lack thereof. Players falling incredibly quickly after that spike goes down. Heading into this one, again, very, very light investments coming in from Na'Vi. I think the most you've got is a Ghost on towards Ruxic.
A tap of the orb, hoping that that warrants a peek or an overextension. With a Sage on the other side, you're going to get none of that. It's the wall that goes straight up and blocking them entirely. Shout might walk into it here. West side had an attempt.
It's a nice little wall.
Small adjustment there, by the way, like a micro play, is that he makes the jump noise on the edge of the wall, hoping that it baits him into thinking that Westside fell back off the wall and is shifting into sight. Instead, sticking about, hoping for more. They are going to give it a go here. Westside eventually finds himself in the sight rather than on the wall itself, and 2 quick kills leave Na'Vi wounded.
I mean, Westside's managed to kill 2 of his teammates, and Shao's still knifing the wall, so a little bit of a lockout of the Gecko player in towards this round. Narrowly avoids trades Blazer, but still for Grabinho, it's an easy pickup. Ruxic, one of the few investments, the biggest investment they made into this round, to be fair, on towards this Ghost. And left with 5 players ahead of him. Misses the timing on Westside. Surely he has to go in,
10 seconds left.
offer up his life. You don't want to be saving this Ghost in towards the next.
Gets one. And there you have it. Will not be saved. All is in order heading into round 3. GX keeping it as clean as they can. 4 survives. You can see the weapons. Typical for the bonus, I guess.
I think this is the most typical bonus buy we've had all day.
Yeah, it very much
all
is.
day.
I've seen a lot of rifle-heavy bonuses and things like that. If you're only just joined us, insane first 2 games if you want to have a watch back through the VOD. Stick with us here, though. Things might only just be heating up. Yes, GX off to a good start, but Na'Vi now with rifles and hoping to amend upon previous mistakes. Good start for Sociable, though, Na'Vi. All square, 4 on 4. Do get slowed up and forced back.
Look at Grabinho. Surely they don't expect this, especially after the distraction.
And Hero tries to go chasing, finds nothing.
He's gone.
I mean, definitely the steps heard, but the problem is you don't know if he's sat in spawn, if he knows he's been heard,
But he's
whatever it
chasing
may
him
be.
with the spike while everybody's dying over towards showers.
Calculated chaos. We saw it in the pistol, and GX looking to apply the same here. It has actually ended up in a 2v2, and didn't expect Hero to be there so soon. Ruxic finds his 3rd in the round, and Na'Vi will secure 1, but you kind of feel like through and through that was GX's round. Like, I feel like they just outplayed the Na'Vi side and then fell at the final hurdle.
Yeah, you can almost feel bad But Gravino, that's the way it ended, right? Obviously slipping the net, avoiding Hero initially, but then just walking into his cross hit. Not expecting him to go for that deeper wraparound. An adjustment through spawn, but you're right in the sense of, for the side of GiantX on towards the bonus, one of the typical bonuses, a lot weaker than that of the attack, is by going for like a little bit of a set strat out towards short, net a couple of kills, and then further push the issue once they've got any sort of information to work off the back of. Information that they're working off the back of this one is trying to play in through the smoke.
Cloud with one, the spray transfer is perfect. Orbital strike deployed, Grabinho tries to get out, and will do so. As the regrow's quick to support as well, so it's not exactly like he does much in terms of damage. More for control, NAVI down to 3 and the spike left on long. Decisions to be made. Do they want to go through the TP? They might shift back round towards B. There are choices to be made.
But one of the choices of TPing back over towards A is they don't have any control. Look at how small of a space that NAVI have control over. One of them in towards Hooker, which Cloud wants to further fight out. Again, down just in the nick of time in regards to HP. Gets out to safety. But still, a 1-for-1 is something that GX are going to be happy with.
They're not going to expect Cloud to be so close because they heard the shots inside, didn't see who it was. I was going to say, would assume that it was Cloud that fell back. Instead, Ruxic hits the spam around the edge of the smoke.
20 seconds. Spike is leaving. It's going towards A. The TP.
Wow.
Oh,
Grabinho
just
punishes.
in the nick of time.
And now it's a foot race towards the A side. 12 seconds left on the clock. It's not just on the round, but it's also Grabinho that's looking to deny. Here's the spike go. Hits one of the shots. Forced off just in time. Grabinho would have won it no matter what, whether it was by time expiring or by the frag. He'll keep his gun. And GX move up to 3.
Yeah, it's this initial engagement over towards long. Again, it's just those awkward moments of trying to slip the net in towards the smoke, players jumping up and about. But being able to trade their way to a finish. Like you said, Grabinho knowing what's asked of him. All he has to do is either get the kill or get them off the spike. Either way, it's a 1 round. Not either way, it's NAVI down on towards an eco. Ara elevated up. Outlaw in hand. Couple of players waiting around the corner.
Oh, so unsuspecting. Philo walks right into the guillotine. Sends the boombot in as well. Oof. Collects a second.
Wow.
Quick to it. No messing about. That side even collecting information in a safe manner. Tried to even stick around for the frag. Will deploy the wall to delay GX even further, but the damage has already been done. Down to 3 as the remaining players from NAVI will chase through Hookah. All sorts of spam going through around the edge of the wall. Shao just wants blood. Unfortunately, he'll fall as Cloud finds a second through the smoke. And with 40 seconds left, Hero against all 5.
And any of the damage that has been done, healed straight back up. Are confident in towards this round with the peaks that he's taking. Takes the TP to connect for the last. But look in this replay. Completely unsuspecting for the first, but it's this one here. Boombot out.
So quick.
And immediate for the peak. Just so confident. And sure, you can have confidence. It's a lower buy. You've got to back yourself in those situations, but you got to admit there's a little bit of a flair to it.
And rightly so. 4 out of the first 5 claimed by the GX side. Looking impressive here in the start of the second map. NAVI's pick needing change, and that's where Angel comes in yet again. We talked about him in map 1 as well. Hoping that his experience as a player, obviously within esports, not just Valorant. He's had years and years in the industry. He knows how attack FPSs work. If there is a coach you'd want, I think it's that man there.
I mean, he's also someone that's played with the core of NAVI.
Yeah.
Knows the temperament, knows, obviously you don't know if it's a temperament problem or they're just struggling to find the answers, but he should be able to navigate and find the answers to both when required. On one of them, is that they're struggling on towards these entries. Attack side has to be rough anyway, but you're looking towards the money. Still, Aura has the Outlaw in hand, so a couple of players are going to be weak to the Outlaw, but it's aggression already out of both Ace Short and out of Hookah. Aura takes down Shao, but takes himself out in the mix, so at least makes it doable for NAVI. It's a 2v2, but Westside at least knows of one. Benefit is they don't know that the spike is down. Nobody was carrying it, so it's in no man's land. Grabinho again running in towards spawn, but this time NAVI were ready.
Offers up the freebie. Moves around Sage to B. West side required to clutch. A 1v2 to win out. Has the slow orb, but I think a silent approach is more favourable. Moving in. Got to take a peek at the right time. Hero holding the close peek ensures that the spike would have safety. And in fact, a second penciled in before it even gets put in place.
Yeah, it's absolutely manic. You have the initial fight down Ace Shore, but it's the double kill coming out from Hookah.
I've got to say that GX tried to read a little into what NAVI were up to. You think straight after a timeout, NAVI, they're going to play some sort of system and try and, you know, break the mold of what they were doing wrong. And so GX used a minute and go, do you know what? Let's just run at them. You know, let's treat this round as if they're going to play passive or do something different. Let's throw it in their face a bit.
I mean, they had the answers. They had it in a 3v2 situation. It's just NAVI able to isolate the initial 1v1s. Filu up and above. No support from teammates because of the wall. Separates him on the rest of the NAVI squad and separates him from life.
Saw 2 on long. Orb collected by Ruxic. A step closer to that orbital strike once again.
But look, they're teeing up to TP. Look who's over towards A. Ara's on this deep line. Got a lot of information in regards to nobody's realistically scaling up. TP would be the main bit of information, or at least warning signs. But
Good
GX,
info.
yeah, but it might be the wrong info for GX to work with, right? Sure, you spot one out over towards long, but the issue is the rest of the players and the spike are heading in towards A.
Spam through the wall. Flickless trying to do something. Seeker's used. Hero going to get through. You've still got to remember that operator is still out on long, but the Seeker is chasing. So now it's just brute force. Ruxic stands in it for a second, takes a bit of damage. It's actually missed. Ara was given a second chance at life, but quickly removed. 20 seconds left. They've got to get a move on here. NAVI have got to get the spike set in place. Shell's pulled off. Ruxic found a third, but Grabinho has answers to all the questions thrown at him so far. And the spike continues to be set down. The flashbang's good. Forced off the angle. And it's all down to Westside once again. Slowly moves on in. Sees the head. Taps away. And now has the ult. Shao able to destroy any chance that GX having an advantage, but the information compromised. Gecko Flash goes high, but Shao holds his nerves.
Oh, and you could feel it for Westside coming back in. Has the ultimate available this time off the back of getting that initial kill. Brings a friend back to life, only to be soon departed. But he had the information to work with, so for him in towards that final gunfight, just comes down to who hits their shots. But you can see, and from Grabinho's perspective, at least on his first death of the round, of wanting to fight forward, knowing that the time was so low, and that's something that GX were able to drain from the side of NAVI with ultimates, with utility, with mollies.
Westside gonna have to heal Flickless. Left at 1 point of health at the end of all of that.
Now back to 100.
It's like it never happened.
Especially on towards the eco. It's not as if you're necessarily even losing the shields. But you will lose Westside.
Great shot from Filu. This outlaw, for both sides, it's found great impact. Opening kill in a very needed round for NAVI. Let's not forget this ties the score up and levels things out after 8.
I got the spike.
This would be a best opportunity for NAVI to do so. Like we mentioned, GX being on a low buy. Barely any investment to bolster up this round. Now there's a sneaky little play hoping to be set up in towards Hooker. But the thing is, from NAVI, they barely ever go through Hooker. It's normally that 4-1 setup. You have the late presence, and it's mainly long that NAVI like to make their entrance in towards B.
Filu probably wanted that a little more to the right and get deeper into side, but here we go. Execute comes in. There are bodies here for GX to try and hold on to control. The flash, pretty solid, forcing Filu into the smoke. Hero currently coming up from towards Hookah. Nice shot from Ara. Spike will go down. It's all pretty meaningless in terms of GX. They have pistols. They were looking for upgrades. Now they're trying for more damage. But it's just Flickless 1-on-4. A clear victor in this round, no matter the cost. Flickless is even moving away. Give them nothing.
And for NAVI, being able to close that round out relatively cleanly, only losing that one player. It's important, building up their own finances and converting on towards the anti-ecos, because we've seen a little bit of a shaky moments from the teams today in regards to playing against Stingers, playing against Sheriffs, or even Classics. That was an issue towards the first map. But for NAVI, being able to equalise, again, important in regards to the scoreline. GX an opportunity to have an answer back in towards this, but you're looking towards Filu on towards these entries. Super clean in regards to up and over, getting the space for the team, and also so much information spotted out not only the player in towards tunnel, but also in towards Hooker. So making and delivering that information for NAVI to adjust their setups. And have an impact, even if it's not necessarily the multi-kills we've come to know him for.
Missed shot from Ara. Has to move in. Grabinho finds one. Filu quick to trade. Still trying to hold on to backside presence here. Wingman's going to set the spike down. Give Shao the weapon to work with rather than having to play for objective Westside. Wall over the top is going to give him a chance. Sociable falls, and so does Hero. All on Shao, and in fact Westside here to clean house all by himself. GX up to 5, and a hat-trick of frags come from the Sage.
I mean, Westside's been out of the conversation for most of this, right? We're talking about him in the retakes, and the 1v2s, and the 1v1s. But when he's on the site itself, it's a little bit of a hard stopping force. Triple kill, like you said, but also being able to protect Grabinho in towards that backside position, fights forward, gets the defuse for himself, and one away from getting the ultimate back online.
And not long ago did we see Westside use it.
Yeah.
In that 1v2 turned...
Is it 3-4 rounds
1v1.
ago? So good cycling of the ultimates, at least from the Sage point of view. Issue is, for ultimates in towards this one, you're looking at the issues that could be caused by Hero's ultimate should NAVI get on towards side, get in towards the post plant. Something else that GX will have to contend with. A little bit of a difference in setup from NAVI though. Wanting to explore earlier on in towards Hooker.
It's unfortunate for Westside. Blinded and thought maybe could just get away with it. Only the bottom half showing. Ara on the angle. It's going to be a duel between the two Razes. GX fortunate enough to walk away with the advantage. It's NAVI now that look to pivot towards the B side of the map once more. They have presence in Hookah this time. There is no flanking entity that GX have to try and catch NAVI by surprise. It's going to have to be brute force. Rotates are coming. The cavalry is arriving. There's 35 seconds. They've got minimal time to get on out, and it's a great double from Grabinho. Westside with one, Flickless the other. And GX quick to pick up 6.
They know that they have to make it out. They have no plan B. It has to be in towards the site. No time to readjust, but no ultimates invested either to force their way through and break the barrier in towards that B site. Instead, is it out of the smoke with the flash, and well, Flash caught a couple of his own teammates in towards that one. GX up onto 6. NAVI again back onto a dodgy buy. GiantX also have the operator out, and even on towards this eco, they're
like
sending
this.
Cloud exploring.
It's super aggressive. Yes, players do slip the net. Ruxick falls back just as he moves forward.
This might be the wrong information though. For the side of GX, you're thinking, oh, Hooker's clear. I see nothing in towards bracket. Barely hear anything. Maybe one player out in towards long.
Now they're going to hear more players move towards A. This is going to be the easiest of stacks. You were right. Spike drops. A disheartening frag to find for the NAVI side. Ruxick moving in. They already knew that the Brimstone was already out on long.
Toxin screen down.
Problems occur as NAVI carved down to just 3.
Toxins going up.
Hero to put up the wall, try and close the gap between himself and these defenders. But it is a disadvantage in numbers and a big one at that.
Down.
And you can see they're more than happy to give them the space. West side, even away on towards the pixel angle.
Toxins going up.
There won't be any exploration that they're not ready for.
30 seconds left.
Maybe not necessarily ready for the numbers. That could be a way in.
Slow orb dropped, it's hit the wall, but it has stopped them from progressing entirely. Grabinho's able to swing off the back of it. And Hero baited into this crossfire. Sociable still fighting.
Ooh.
1, in fact 2. Trying to make it 3, but Arrow there to hold on. The nade dropped, the flash is out. Filu baited off of the spike. Will eventually destroy the Boombot. And Arrow there for the hat trick. GX up to 7.
Man, you can see how uncomfortable it is for NAVI in towards that situation. Again, sure, it's a low buy, but they had the numbers in their favor in towards the engagements towards backside. But the thing is, the utility getting dropped at the right time, the slow orbs, the mollies, there was no way for them to break through. And when they did, look at how many lives it cost them. Filu's then left in a situation, sure, with a little bit of help from Sociable to slim down the numbers, but look how uncomfortable he is on towards this side. Head on a swivel, not knowing where the players are coming from, at least knowing of 2, 1 ahead, 1 behind.
NAVI have saved 4 ultimates for the final round, and as you can see already, one of them being used. Thrash used! Orbital Strike, I think that is the stage well and truly dead. In fact, no West side escapes. Dizzy
have to
launch
punish
time.
him.
Have to hit the shot here. You're right, Shao needs to find the frag. Dizzy now dropped. Mosh pit thrown in. They just want this kill, and it's an iron wall provided. Showstopper as Arrow moves through the TP. They do everything to fight for the stage to stay alive, and that's why, because when the numbers stay level, West side to bring them back in GX's favor. Viper's pit deployed towards Spawn, but there are still numbers in hookah for GX to help out.
Thing is, this is where the main retake for GiantX is going to be from. It's basically an attacking round now. You only have 1 player coming in from that spawn position. But at the same time, NAVI don't necessarily have the information. They know there's 2 coming from flank, at least.
Flash goes in. They'll know about someone at least. Flickless removed. Hero gone. Sociable, sorry, with a second as Westside finds the trade. It's a 2-on-2. All going pear-shaped for GX in the post-plant. Molly on top of the spike. There's such limited time. I don't think there's going to be enough of it. They just had to get on it. They had to stop this from happening. Instead, the Vipers pit enough alongside the Brimstone. It's 7-5 at the half.
Not completely
Switching
redeemed,
sides.
but at least in a manageable scoreline for the side of NAVI. You're looking towards GiantX, there's a couple of streaks of rounds that they're able to net together, and even in towards this one, the support system that they had for Westside in towards Hookah, you had Ara coming to help with the TP. Also had Flickless jumping up. Cloud trying to help out. But at the end of the half, it's GiantX still that lead. Reminder that this is Navi's map pick, and it's a must-win for them. Just to even force that 3rd to stay live in towards this tournament. Single bracket. It's brutal. And we could be saying goodbye to one of these teams today.
GX looking to do it in style. Wall goes up, providing coverage for the spike to be tapped, just hoping that they can force a reaction out of the NAVI side. Instead, there's a gap in this wall. They just go through. Cloud wants to fight. And GX, in fact, take a very advanced bit of information for this post plant. Look at how deep some of these players lie.
Yeah, and even pushing the issue.
Double flank coming in as well. Let's not forget. There are numbers stacked everywhere. Flickless has to hit these shots. Down low, but not out of the fight. Cloud here to support.
Oh
Flash goes high, but both kills. In fact, Filu and Shao find 2 back, so it's a 3-on-3. The spike is tapped. They have to make a move towards it. Shao's found another. Cloud with a quick trade. It's all back and forth right now, and in the hands of Cloud. Has to do more, has to step up, but Ruxic will deny. And while it goes down a 5v5, NAVI walk away with the defusal and 2.
Yeah, massive coming in from Shao on towards that flank. Incredibly clean shot to start it off with. I will say though, the fact that Flickless gets a kill here should be criminal on towards Hero, but it's Shout with a massive answer back. Cloud, no chance in towards the 1v2, stuck with his back against the wall in a corner and an opponent approaching from either side. No real investment for GiantX in towards this one. Shotgun on towards Ara, looking for maybe a double satchel in towards Lamps.
Hero gonna get chased down, as you say. Into Lamps looking for control, at least some map possession.
Different wall to the one in the previous. This one is to get the spike down, not just to elevate west side. Sociable already spotted out on towards this flank. So Crabinio going to be tasked with holding that position.
Gives a bit of space towards sight, but doesn't find the kill. Instead, Sociable with the opener. Ruxic the second, they're down to 3. All sorts of util being lobbed in. It's the second time Paint Shells have found a kill on this defense. Filu having great fun. Lineup's being used here as the defuse is already going on. Just trying to stop it from happening. It missed. It fully missed. So,
but not fully. There's solid 20%.
That's 80% too little, ideally, to stop a spike from being defused.
He was also against 5 players. I don't think...
Probably a bit rushed, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We're all tied up after 14. 7 apiece. NAVI 2 for 2 on this defense. Of course, having won the pistol, took home the anti-eco. Now it's time for GX to have an equal, if not better, investment. We'll see how their attack gets on.
Focusing towards A short. Instant Trailblazer to notify of the position in towards Lamps. But the thing is, you're looking at Sociable yet again, super deep down long, isolated shore with support of a smoke.
Gonna flash through. Flickless forced away.
But he doesn't push.
It's good discipline. Wants nothing to do with that possession on long. Doesn't want to go flanking again. I think GX know that that's been a thorn in their side the entire half. So turn their paces towards A.
But they're also able to cycle this smoke again over towards long, so that's further pressure on towards the GX side, even though they don't necessarily know it. But the side of NAVI, grouping up 3 towards long, pushing out, they're going to have so much information. You talk about the double flank, that's going to be coming through now, while they're also making their way out of A. They have to get these kills on towards A, get themselves in towards a clean post plan.
They know that this flank's going on, and they have got
reinforcements on the way.
As you say, not just the reinforcement, but one as well to support. Grabinio hits it. Now they know there's 2 behind, though. Side defenses might just be weakened. Flickless hits the second. Down to 3. Filu claims one back with the Guardian as Westside forced to watch from his teammates' perspectives. They still continue to move on in NAVI. Time is of the essence. The flash could go through. But Ara's got the shot. Cloud with a second. And there is such little time left to work with. The util is plentiful for this defense. And GX makes sure that the spike stays in place and does not get defused. 8-7.
Great work from Flickless going in regarding to assisting with the flank watch, helping out Grabinio, then also being able to turn around and be a thorn in the side of the remaining NAVI players who realistically had to funnel through this one little gap in towards the stage wall initially. Out onto site, relatively easy for the final GX players to hold. And then you also just have Ara being a nuisance in the back line, wrapping around from Lamps.
I've got your trail. Hawk out.
Immediate pressure in towards B, but you have the TP coming out from Shout to disallow any impact in towards Hooker.
Great double, Ruxic once more. West side gets one back, Flash to go high, Flickless. In fact, all the kills start coming in for GX. It's a 2-on-4, instantly evaporated out of Navi's hands. 9-7. I mean, that is a huge round for Navi to try and tee up to get back into this contest. Instead, GX pull rabbits out of hats, 2-on-4, and they kill everyone in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, just have a look at this replay. Sure, you have the engagements going out in towards hookup, but it's this as you come out of sight. It's a 2-on-4. Flickless managed to get one fully blind, but it's the turn from West side to look towards hookup, where all these players were able to get that triple kill.
Navi are now down to Sheriffs. That was a huge opportunity for them to get back into this game and put it back on level terms. Flickless hit quite early on. Falls back into safety, make sure that he can get healed by the Sage, and then moves back into hold off on these pushes towards A.
They hit both. So at least no sneaky business for the Navi players, hoping to bypass.
Oh, wow. Sociable walks between the shots. That's quite fortunate. And in fact, Ruxic hits Cloud. So GX early disadvantage, but that ain't going to last very long. In fact, it might. Orbital Strike invested at a pivotal moment. It's big damage done, but no kills.
And the satchel as well to assist Cloud to get out to safety. Sure, takes a decent amount of damage, but it's still a player alive. 5v5. A lack of shields for GX, I think, coming into this one because of how many players have been dinked or killed and brought back. So it's still kind of squishy for the side of GX. Navi have an opportunity if they can hit some of those shots again. It should be the final shot they'd have to hit.
Time is of the essence. Pressure being applied from short. Water goes down again, the defensive to put down this spike. Cloud force back, made vulnerable by the utility of the Viper on Navi's side. Sociable gets the opening kill. They're just trying to find the kills to deny the spike from going down. Westside playing a dangerous game as he spams right above Flickless, and it will cost him his life for it.
Man, it's messy.
Ready to fire off with whatever he can to help his side. 2 quick kills out of the Outlaw and 1 more with the Shorty. The self-heal to give Westside all the help needed to hold on the edge of this smoke, but a couple of missed shots has now called into question this round. Ruxic hits another, and if they don't win, Navi have made it expensive. Ruxic wants to take the fight to the brim and will hit him. Has enough time as well. The molly goes away, and Navi do it with 5 Sheriffs.
As much as you have to commend Navi of hitting their shots, dealing the damage early on, forcing ultimates, forcing Sage reses out of the side of GX, you have to be scratching your head and looking towards them of how did it come down to this? The fact that, sure, wanting to buy time with the clock, fine, but the utility that Navi have in the back pocket, the nades, the mollies as well, you're talking about the snake bites that you utilised, and then just allowing the spam to come through the smoke. Surely you fight forward.
They just don't do enough in the default and in the early round to try and bait out the util. They're so focused on trying to bring the numbers back from B long that, as you say, the A players haven't been tested once. They now smell blood in the water towards A. I think they want revenge more than anything, and understandably so. A sour taste for this GX side. Want to bring it back. They do have the Gecko ult available. For GX, it's just rifles and whatever they have left in their belts.
But they're not even trying to get the spike down. Sure, the wall's gone out, and you're looking at the insert of Cloud over towards bench. But the only thing is, Feeler is there to deal with it. Same goes for a couple of the other Navi players. And now it's a 4v2. Double the numbers in favor of the defenders. Spike in no man's land. And information on the final 2 players.
Stinger tries to find some damage. West side's with the Vandal, hoping that he can turn the tides. The flash is pretty good. Gets the heal off as well before trying to engage, and you can understand so. 40 seconds left. They have to hunt for these headshots, and West side can't find a thing.
I mean, there was time to work with, but West side was the player that you were looking to do the most in that 2v4 situation. The only player with a Vandal, obviously Ara with the Stinger, able to get one on his way out. But now we're back up to equal footing. And off the back of, realistically, a round coming from Navi that pulled out of their hats on towards the eco and headed into now a timeout for GiantX. Like, you have to start getting those rounds on the board off the back of a mistake capitalized upon by NAVI. You don't want this to turn into a snowball effect.
Yeah, and that's why the timeout's called now, right? You got to just cut circulation of this momentum. Leave nothing on the table. Say everything. What's in your mind? Pipson, of course, up in the GX side from the coach slot. He'll have the 60 seconds to discuss and figure out what went wrong in the last couple. And I think it's part respect, part just not doing enough to force Navi's hand. You know, they're always allowed to keep their cards close to their chest. They're always allowed to hold on to utility, delay. And we saw it perfectly in the last gun v gun round, not the one just gone, obviously, where there was, 30 seconds, they get into the site, snake bite, molly.
That was against Nico.
And again, it was against pistols. They just delayed enough to the point where when the spike went down, they had to lose so much in terms of weaponry and lives because of it.
But it's also down to Navi being proactive. Even on the lower buys, they're sending flashes down towards long, inserting players outside of showers. So there's a lot of stuff that they're trying to do. And now looking in towards this one. Shorty, or Bucky, I should say, at least found its position in towards site.
This is cheeky. West side getting up top and will find the kill. Hero removed.
Thing is, this is a wall that there is a gap in between. So normally they play to wall west side up and they'll fight through and they'll push in towards backside together. This time though, they don't necessarily have the ability to do that. They pop the orb down and they want to bait out the utility, which is the exact reason why they started to lose the couple of rounds before. Is so much delay utility from Navi. At least that's the mosh gone. Now they just have to worry about the molly, the nade, the shotgun.
To be fair, this is going to force their hand a little further. Cloud's able to plant, no worries at all. Never mind that, Shao's just shot me up and shot Cloud up as well. Philo and Ruxic both with kills. All down to 2. GX dwindling numbers once more. Grabinho can't find anything either, and it's all on our 1-on-4. Bucky in hand, flash is good.
30 seconds left.
Forced even deeper into a corner. Left to cower away from the Navi side. 2 players holding this exact same angle. They'll just be walking into certain death. And in fact, just completely trapped in this part.
Left.
No room to move. Ruxic catches a good timing, and so there will be no further damage done. Navi, double digits, 10-9.
You're looking at the investment that GX made into this. Sure, it was a lower buy, but with the ultimate, with the orbital strike invested, you thought that they were backing themselves into it, wanting to fully commit in towards that round. And sure, they're going to have weapons back into this one, but lack of Grabinho's ult presence going to be felt. At least they do have the Viper's Pit, but again, they're unable to get into these post plants recently.
Yeah, and it's not exactly like Navi don't know how to spam. We've learned quite quickly that util and the combination of everyone flinging bullets through smokes is their way of saying thank you. Sociable, Ruxic both with kills. West side. That name said a lot. Breached for this GX side. The wall goes down. West side will bring up Perez. And now they know. At least the indicator of some. In fact, all coming from this TP position. 2 through hookah, 1 wrapping around on long. And you're right, all the info given across. Now just a game of timings. And what did GX expect of them?
But the thing is, you're looking towards Shao, the sole player left in towards hookah, utilizing the ultimate just to try and spot out any positions. But it's dealt with so early that it has no impact.
Quickly removed. Now up to the weapons of Navi to make a dent on this retake. Flash to go high. And Ara forced off the angle. Filu, satchels forward. Still in the heart of the site is West Side, who finds a third. But Filu's double might just be in the heart. The dagger. In fact, never mind that. Ara's just pushed forward and found both. I thought the utility was going to keep him back instead. A bit of disrespect served in the face of Navi at the end of round 20. It's 10-all.
I mean, the choice is either to go back, find safety in elbow, and be completely cut off from the spike. And, well, he would just stick it. It would be a round loss. Has to take the fight forward. Has to brave the damage of the utility that was happening and exploding behind him. Multi-kill on multi-kill for both duelists in towards this one, except it's Ara that comes out on top. And you're looking at this being such a pivotal round. Money low for both teams. An opportunity to not only get this one, but you're looking towards the next, putting themselves up onto map point.
And in GX's case, it's series point, isn't it? All on the table. As you say, a swing round. Rook 6, speaking of swing rounds, taking the meaning literally. Runs into Showers, try to do some damage. 2 for 1 in favor of GX. Sociable still in sight. Sat in one of these smokes, and I think GX know that this definitely is a play they could have seen before. Not going to fire through and find damage. Sociable to flash and move through, but it doesn't fall blind. Cloud.
It's desperation.
Wanted damage. Instead, more victims to GX's play towards A. Their success, as you say, might come in pairs as well, unless Hero has something to say about it. Nice first frag. Seeker's used. In fact, doesn't shoot all the way. So Hero's forced back. Bilu now spotted in the back of sight. Held the angle is Ara, but a nice frag from the operator. Satchel into the smoke. Forces Cloud through, but actually, players trade. In the meantime, Grabinho setting up the molly. Sends it forward. Hero, damage done. Is it going to land for 1?
Can they
and
block
for 2?
molly?
Is it going to be in time? It's forced off. Time is low. Grabinho knows he has to try and get on it as soon as possible. Has he won? Is there enough time? Oh my word, there is! NAVI have claimed 11!
0.3 of a second. I thought that was done. I thought that was a GX round through and through. A 4 versus 2. Time dwindling. Utility on towards the spike. You almost felt like it was inevitability after this kill comes in favor of GX. That Cloud picks up the kill on towards Sociable. But you're looking towards Hero, especially in regards to reading into the reposition. Into the player that was still in towards backside. And you can understand through and through why you're seeing the final timeout coming in from GX, because this would have been the opportunity for them to get up onto map and series point in regards to how the money's working. There's going to be choices decided in this timeout. What sort of investments do they come out in towards the next? Do they play for overtime, or do they play to equalize?
Either way, judgment must be clouded after a round like that. 4-on-2 that GX had. I mean, even the wraparound from Cloud, I think, had an opportunity, traded places in the smoke with the Rays. The Satchel didn't do much to disrupt that. Read into. And then you also, after the fact, Grabinho, fair play, had the lineup and he bought all the time, but peaked. Had he peaked half a second later, probably that defuse doesn't start for another 0.2 of a second at least. And that's what is the banker of that round. So much went wrong for GX in the 4-on-2. And now look at the buy.
One Guardian. That's the best they have to work with. And sure, they'll have enough to fight in towards the next. They'll have the weapons, but it should have been NAVI on towards the eco.
GX still. Opportunities present themselves, but limited in this one. Need to deliver good news on lesser weapons, and if it's not going to be good news now, it's back-to-back rounds needed. But
for the side of GiantX, they haven't fully invested into this, so maybe try and bait out some of the ults from NAVI, make the next round as easy as possible.
They're going to try everything. Spike goes down. In fact, this is the perfect opportunity. A trade-off in positions. We'll see how that's going to end up going down. Clearly, GX want this round, and you're right, it's baited out 2 ultimates now, and probably the 2 most important ones. NAVI investing everything to try and get 12. Sociable finds the first. Cloud with a quick trade. Showstopper for Filu, but can't hit the shot. Now it's a 4-on-3. GX down in numbers, but they've still got chances. Shao starting the defuse. Needs to hit shots. West side removed. It's stuck to half. Time is of the essence. They have to stop it from now, and they just don't have the numbers. GX concede 12. Invest the pit. Can't find much, but it's baited out a lot for NAVI in the near future.
It baited out all of the ultimates that they had available. You're looking towards Sociables, you're looking towards Filus, Heroes even baited out. All they will have left for this map is Ruxix. It's still one away, but that can easily come online and easily be a difference maker for the side of NAVI when we're looking towards this rifle round. It can deny pushes, it can deny spike plans, it can clear out a large area when they're going for those retakes. So you're looking towards GiantX and towards this one. They have the weapons. They don't have ults either, admittedly.
Look at this. They're going to fight at the edge of the smoke. NAVI got 2 quick kills, Sociable with a 3rd. It goes from bad to worse for GX. They took an eco, trying to be precise in the next 2 rounds. Instead, a coin flip fight towards long that does not go their way. And a 4-on-2 to recover. Grabinio fast on the flank. He will have a chance to find the first. Flickless spotting more bodies in and around the spike. Now it's a game of who can find the kills. Both come back for GX. And it's all in the hands of Filu. Baited out on the shot. And they'll run.
A 2v4 to 2v1. Filu's position spotted out, and maybe you would expect GX to rotate towards Ace, so he tries to beat them at their own game, and instead, they just want to go out of hookah.
They've psyched him completely. Dropped the shoulder towards A and then ran back to B. Grabinio plants the spike. And you thought as soon as those 3 kills happen on long, 2-on-4, it's game over. NAVI have the spike, they have the space, they have the knowledge. Instead, we have 24 rounds.
And Flickless knew exactly where Filu was coming from. The reposition has all of the audio cues. Heading in to round 24. Ultimates starting to get online, but this should have been it. It's the same thing when we talk about GX against the 4v2 pit down, but instead, both teams do not want to go out, or at least don't want Bind to end here. And you're looking at the buy, it's not ideal, it's like a gun game for NAVI. But one of the guns is the operator, and it's already taken off the board.
It can't find a thing. Cloud quick to remove it. The most expensive gun dropped first.
And the thing is, you look at the ultimates that GX have versus NAVI, sure, maybe another couple are close, but especially West Sides, that is basically a 6v4 right now if they're able to utilize it in specific places. But the time, they have to be wary of this. The utility is still there for NAVI.
Hero has to fall back.
Go get it.
Chances presented for GX. Judge still sitting in the corner, waiting in the wings to activate, but nobody going to bite down on that idea. The Molly doing damage and Cloud forced away from the plant. There's a lot of time, so they can afford to take their time, plant in their own period.
But now we have the Brim rotating over. Ruxik here, you can see the Orbital Strike already in his hands, ready to use. They can't waste too much time. There's 40 seconds left on the clock. There's still so much delay, and it's a reposition from the GiantX players in towards Showers. Sociable spotted out, Sociable taken out.
It's a 2nd kill. OT seems like the likely destination. 30 seconds left, time's of the essence. Ruxix dropped another.
The spike has to
Fantastic
go
game
down
from him. Orbital Strike, as you say, at the ready, but it's not used.
He thought it was a bait.
Maybe for the retake, maybe thought a bait. But GX, they also now have the Sage ult, which is going to prove pivotal.
But that's the thing, where can he use it? Does he wrap around towards Showers, get the ultimate utilized on towards the Viper? Here comes the Orbital Strike.
He's now forced the Sage back, and it might be a good time to try and get on your bike and move round to the Showers. Instead, holding ground. Spammed out, arrow removed from the frenzy of Hero, but Cloud has caught Hero. Seeker's deployed, Gecko removed off the spike, and so is Ruxik. If you thought 24 rounds was enough, be prepared to see more unless... Shell's just got 2, but there's not enough time. We will go the distance plus some. 24 is not enough.
And it's that is the round that they get across the board. Not against the eco, not against the low buy. It's when they have everything, and instead it's just a pack of GiantX players wandering about the place. Initially on towards the first kill, on towards Filu, who had to watch by the sidelines as not only the map, but the ability to play in towards regulation slips through their fingers. And now we're into a position where overtime is required, and you're looking towards GiantX not to squander this opportunity.
I mean, all the rounds in this game have been so back and forth. Such a streaky game. There hasn't been like a standout performer. I mean, yes, we saw an early lead. I think, what, 5-1? But after 24 rounds, these two teams inseparable. And the chase is on for both GX to be promoted into those semi-finals and for NAVI to hold on to life in this competition.
And it's poking and prodding in towards hookup. But that's all it is. It's a poke and a retreat. Not much delay in regards to baiting out utility of NAVI done so far. With a minute left on the clock, 3 players on towards this A site. Starting to get concerned.
Snakebite drops, Feelu with the opener, west side removed, and that's the Sage gone, but Flickless still in the picture, but not for long. Hero gets a second, Shah with a third, GX down to 2. Attack has brought nothing but problems as NAVI break the back of GX, force their hand on the attack, which was nothing short of crazy.
But how many 2v4s have we seen?
Well, let's see if we can add another one to the tally. I guess you can't count either team out at this point. Satchel over the top. Aragon, Cloud now to ride the wave solo. Finds the first, needs 3 more. Dink through the corner of the box. Sociable knows his position compromised. But it's 13 next to Navi's name first. And they get the defense to see if they can push us to map 3.
Match point.
And the thing is, it's the attack that both of these teams have been struggling on.
It's a huge round for NAVI to get.
Yeah.
Not just talking, oh, well, you know, they're up to 13 first, but as you said, it's been the defense that has been the more reliable factor, especially for NAVI, who have just managed to outplay GX in a lot of these rounds with util and delay. They're going to be looking to do the exact same thing again.
Well, they've had 2 opportunities already. Talk about GX not squandering their chance in towards overtime. Now the pressure is, again, back on towards the NAVI shoulders to convert this round.
Hold on. NAVI sending a couple through the TP here. They want to take the fight early towards short. Too much respect. GX don't want to lose out in this early fight, and it's all important information, but quick retreat and move towards A.
But the reaction isn't quick enough because you now have 2 people rotated in towards the site.
Hero forced back with the flashbang. Hara to satchel in. Ruxic burning in his own molly. Cloud on the angle, but Hero hits the shot. Has to be traded, and it will do so. The Rays taking control towards U-Haul, diving into the smoke, but Flickless has the shorty. Aware of the situation. The wall is broken and the smoke is down. So they have to pull off the spike and think about a second plan. But GX want more. They're not happy with going down in single OT. It's a 4-on-2. This time looking a little more definitive. Unless Feelu can be heroic in moves. Sociable on a flank.
But the time. It's going to have to start moving, or hopefully hoping Feelu can get something done on towards site.
Grabinho holding for this exact move. Caught by surprise is Sociable. And unless Feelu can pull out some heroics, it will be going to double OT. The Sage on the other side of the wall. Shorty drawn. 13-13.
Switching sides. Overtime.
Another round of overtime required, and off the back of the initial entries from NAVI, the positions that they had, you were expecting Ruxic, a player that's been standout for NAVI so far in this map. That could have been the undoing. That would have been the spike drops inside your own smoke, playing ahead of the game, ahead of the curve. And sure, we're getting another timeout, and you honestly feel it's needed for both teams coming into it, because what a manic past 4 rounds we've had.
A moment of peace, quiet before we get back into it. GX on the defense, have to make up for past mistakes. Had to do it on attack, forced to do it on attack if they wanted to be hit. And as you said, I feel like attacking has been the weak point for both of these sides, so a bit of a reversal to start OT.
But you're also looking towards GiantX. They have not had a single map point in the entirety of this game. They've been fighting off the back foot this whole time.
Yeah.
Obviously, it is going to be a NAVI timeout, but you have to be looking towards Pipston as well. On what can he say to his boys to fight for, to get them this first round of OT, so they'll have an opportunity to fight for the map win, and instead of just for the map continuation. And you're looking at the change in buys. I believe I saw an operator out for one of the GX players.
That you did. No
Posted
time
up
to
long.
waste.
It's one of the few times NAVI aren't there.
Maybe that was what was said. Long is a tendency for this NAVI side. Instead, it's a double push towards Hookah that will grant early knowledge, excuse me. GX disinterested this round, still holding the line.
But that's the thing, Ara has not moved. There's been no reason to move, but the thing is, he will be removed. Filu connecting that first shot and wants to build forward in towards site.
They have to get the way forward or through the TP. I was going to say, I didn't know which one it was going to be. They elect towards A. Spike is left alone towards A. Lots of noise being made. On the other side of the map, I mean, they should meet in the middle. Whether that means they head A or want to head back to B. I mean, if we don't know, GX certainly don't.
Thing is, now as well, we're looking towards the Showstopper available for NAVI. Double satchel, Showstopper into sight can be devastating. There's plenty of targets on towards this A.
Flash to go high, Showstopper drawn. Snakebite doing some early damage, just sees nothing. It will be used and eventually West side removed. 5 health left, but Filu finds a third. Taking scalps here against the GX side. 4 in the round, Cloud denies of the ace. 3 more to go, and it will not be NAVI. Another one, another chance, another opportunity at taking us to a third.
On 5 HP, Ryan. He got most of those kills. You can see it in the replay. This initial one is insane.
That needed to be a kill. And you see Filu at this point, already 5 points of health, 3. 4 then in the round. Cloud eventually removed, but 14-13. Map point NAVI once more. They're on the defense again to see if they can close the show and take us to a decider.
Was this the 4th opportunity? 4th map point for NAVI.
Yeah, 2 in regulation and now 2 OTs.
Pressure has to be mounting.
Got the spike.
Knowing that drawing out this game is not going to do them any favors. A relatively passive setup of the initial first 40 seconds.
NAVI see a lot of invested brimstone smokes, and so they think that
But look at the setup
they need
towards
to
Hookah.
spam. And you are right, 2 deep lying defenders in Hookah. Hearing all the noise of these players stepping up, they'll call for a rotate soon. The molly from Ruxic perfectly placed to buy time. Smoke is dropped as well to just prevent these long players from wrapping in and cutting them out. Ruxic taking some damage through the smoke, left really low, but stays alive. 11 points of health left. And the regrowth there from Sociable pretends like nothing ever happened.
And the thing is, now they're going to have this deep position in long for the retake. Westside also getting the kill on towards Ruxic.
TP, here the cavalry has arrived.
Here.
4 players outside this long position, a 5th coming to join soon. Grabinho has to move in. Nice shot from Ara. Filu trades into the heart of sight. These players pile in for NAVI. You are right, time is of the essence. They've got to move forward. There's so many people towards Garden. Westside gets 1, Flickless the 2nd, Sociable 1v4, and while collecting the 1st, there's just not enough time. 1 OT isn't enough, 2 isn't enough. We go even more.
And even though we don't actually see the kill come in favor of Cloud, just keeping Sociable in Hookah, getting the information of his position does so much for the players in towards long. So much time being bought by the GX players. Not only do they have the layer of the 2 players on towards site, then you have the reposition of Ara, you have Cloud wrapping around in towards Hookah. But it's still only to survive again. A glass cannon operator for Ara out. It wasn't successful in the last. If anything, it was a Ferrari peak to take his head off his shoulders. Hopefully, he wants to find different success in towards this round. It is a different setup. He is holding towards short. And with the group up of NAVI players both taking in towards showers and the reset on towards short, he might be in for an opportunity for an initial pick. Still 5v5.
Some util burn. Ara on this elevated angle. It was the Outlaw at the start of the second half that found some damage from this position. This deep into a game as well, you feel like this could be everything. Does anyone want to walk into it? Filu might just. Got to be careful for both sides now. Drops away, and that's the spike dropped as well. Shao removed.
But there's still 40 seconds left to work with. The only issue is they have the player in towards showers. That should be the way to split out on towards A. And the rotate from Cloud is coming over.
There's 4 deep on A. GX, so many bodies between them and allowing NAVI in. The gate trying to be shut in their face. Sociable leaves it open just for now though, because Cloud's got another. Ara's claimed one with the paint shells. Ruxic, standout performer for NAVI. 13 seconds through the TP, but the wall is up and it stops him from any opportunity. It's a humiliating way to go. It's GX's first chance to claim this map and in turn the series. Map point.
Surely this has to be the opportunity for GiantX. It's their first map point to come through. They've been fighting for their way back in towards regulation. It was 12-10, 12-7. And then you're looking towards this now, in towards OT. It's always been NAVI with the round up. But this time, GiantX holds strong.
Only in the context of OT, but they hold 100% of rounds on the attack. And they want to go fast. Ara finds the opener. Shout quick to shut things down. Flash to give Ruxic some space. West side, confident on the angle. It will hit the shot. Threading the needle beautifully towards showers.
And you also know of the Gecko positioning anyway. Now Hero feels like he has to be the hero for the team. But the thing is, he's been spotted out. Tagged down towards half. He has to retreat. He can't give that another kill in favor of GiantX.
And they don't move. Stand their grounds. They know that the group and go will work in a situation like this. 4-on-3.
If they do go towards short for NAVI, at least you have the player close, you have a player towards heaven. You can possibly trying to be Shao taking all the attention, and then you can see the capitalization of the sky from heaven. But the thing is, there's so many players in favor of GX here.
Moving forward, sociable first contact. Shao in the corner, can't find a thing. Cloud takes one. Spike will go down, and that is not counterable to NAVI, given their ultimatum. 2v4 or be eliminated. The flank being held by Grabinio. Missed shot, but it's information. A compromise of this flank. Hero can't collect another. Seekers deployed. They know where Sociable is. And NAVI, 4 opportunities in this series to close this second map. But it shall not be. GX 2-0.
They really needed one opportunity, one map and series point afforded to GiantX, and they will not let that opportunity slip through their fingers, which you have to admit, for the side of NAVI, you have to feel for them. The amount of times they were up, not only in numbers or in rounds, but then in towards map points as well. They had Corrode just on the verge of being realized, and instead, GiantX find a way to fight all the way back through. All the way through multiple overtimes, and you can see in the replay here how many rounds.
Yeah, they're so far ahead. NAVI, 4 opportunities. 12-10 was the scoreline in regulation. 2 more OTs on top of that they couldn't close in. And then GX just rock up, win 1 round on defense and go, ah, you know what, we'll win the game. That's salt in the wound. And for NAVI, that was their do or die. GX already 1-0 up in the series at this point, so only needed this map to close the series in their favor. My word, a banger game and a banger map for you. And NAVI, unfortunately, draw the short straw. We don't get a third between these two teams. Instead, it's GX that are able to claim victory. 3 OTs deep, but 3 is enough.
Man, you saw in the replay that 2v4 from the side of GX. That's the only reason they were still in towards this game. You almost felt like NAVI should have not only closed out in the multiple opportunities they had in towards regulation, but also in towards overtime, but also in towards regulation as well. But GiantX players just did not want to be eliminated, and it wasn't even for an elimination, it was just to force a map 3.
Yeah.
And instead, it's NAVI that we're going to have to bid farewell to. And for them, obviously being invited in towards that phase 3, it's been